Yo, shout out to everybody here already in the building. I appreciate you guys. Welcome to the latest installment of Coffee and Convo. I am your host, Graphk Raider. Shout out to I Am Punchy. I see you, bro. Shout out to Bourbon, Joe Nation, M Raider, my boy Ace Boogie's in the building. Make sure you guys wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 20K before the season starts. I cannot do that without you guys. I appreciate y'all so much, man. Once again, Coffee and Convo, you guys grab your coffee and let's get to chopping this fable, man. I see Darnell Sanders, man, E. Lee in the building, Patrick B, Campbell, Calvin, Ben Carr, Crispin, King Gibby, Sacramento Proud, baby. That's what I'm talking about. 80s, baby, man. What's good with you, man? A lot to unpack. We're going to talk about Hondo Carpenter's most recent article on Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk about the recent cut to Bobby Wagner. There's a lot of stuff going on in the NFL right now, man. Free agency is right around the corner, you guys. Weeks away. That is crazy to me. That is really, really crazy. It feels like the Super Bowl just ended and the NFL is about to start operating already. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Shout out to my dog, Jason Hall, man. Sup, Graphk? Hope you're well. I don't want Rodgers. Well, I'll say this, Jay, right? If you don't want Aaron Rodgers, the way Hondo Carpenter put this article together, you may get your wish, my brother. We may not be in on the whole Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes like everyone else is saying we are. Let me read this in a minute, Jay. And we're going to definitely talk our shit about the Aaron Rodgers situation. Shout out to Erica. Salute to you, Graphk. Loving the new set and logo. Everything. Love it. Shout out to my people, my family, Erica, and my boy Rube. It's always love with y'all, man. Chris Brennan's in the building. Shane's in the building. Whoop. I see my dog in the building. We out there. Perriman and Wagner. I mean, at this point, let's be real. We out there. If we brought in Wagner, there really isn't a reason to bring in, Denzel Perriman, bringing him back. You're bringing in two linebackers that's over 30 years old. I think you got to pick or choose. And at this point, I'm picking Wagner. I believe he's like an 8-time All-Pro, 6-time or 8-time Pro Bowler, 6-time All-Pro or something like that. I mean, the guy is still very, very, very good. He's still playing at a high level at 32 years old. I wouldn't bring Denzel Perriman back. At that point, you go draft a young LB. You bring back your guys from last season, your UDFAs, Divine Diablo as well, and you kind of run with that. But I do believe if we brought in a veteran, even if it is Denzel Perriman, we're still going to go get probably another 2 or 3 linebackers between free agency and the draft. Let me see. Shout out to Joe Nation. Been waiting on the live. You do not have to wait no longer, my brother. Shout out to Raiders Zilla in the building as well. Shout out to my boy Charlie Woods. Would you prefer Bates or Ramsey? I'm always going to take a corner over the safety position. I do like Bates. I think Bates is only, 25? Somewhere around there, 25, 26. Ramsey is 28. I'd rather have a shutdown corner all day, every day than a Jesse Bates at the safety position. And we're going to talk about Ramsey as well, you guys, because it pretty much looks as though Bobby Wagner was, a cap casualty with the Rams, but it was a mutual agreement, right? Let me read this real quick to you guys. Shout out to Adam Schefter. The Rams and the nine-time All-Pro linebacker Bobby Wagner mutually agreed Thursday to part ways. Sources tell ESPN Rams need more cap space and Wagner wants to win. He will now be a notable part of this year's free agent class. So for him to say, there's 2 things that come from this. I don't know if the Raiders are a part of that. I don't know if he thinks that we're ready to win, right? And I'm looking at it from a standpoint of Jalen Ramsey. Bobby Wagner says he wants to win. So there's something there. Maybe the coaching staff and them are saying this might be a mini rebuild. We're going to have to get rid of some big contracts and go out and finally draft some talent instead of trading away all your draft capital. So it looks as though the Rams may be going through this transitional period where, they're going to take some L's. They're going to take the bumps and bruises. So they're going to get rid of the Bobby Wagners of the world and potentially a Jalen Ramsey that has saved them lots and lots of paper going into the 2023 season. So this is definitely something to monitor, you guys. The Rams may be hitting the mini reset button. Look, where there's smoke, there's fire. And Jalen Ramsey's, the rumors with him potentially moving on, that doesn't just come out of nowhere, out of left field. now with Bobby Wagner, I think he had 6 sacks last season, 2 INTs. He still looks really, really good as a 32-year-old linebacker, 9-time All-Pro. And think about this. He played a lot last year, I believe, without Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald dealt with injuries last season, was put on the IR. You know what I mean? He played a lot of games without Aaron Donald. You know, everybody always uses these linebackers look really, really good in Los Angeles because they're playing behind Aaron Donald, right? Well, you can't really use that excuse too much for Bobby Wagner last season. He still played a really good season, 6 sacks, 2 picks. For a 32-year-old linebacker, I am definitely willing to take a flyer out on him, bring him in and see what it is. But do we fit the description of a team that fits what he's saying? He wants to win. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he stays in the division. Maybe he goes back to Seattle. Maybe he says, hey, Niners was good. Goes to San Francisco. My bad, Santa Clara. I mean, who's to say? I mean, if he says he wants to win, there's going to be plenty of teams out there that can use a 9-time All-Pro at the linebacker position. Let me see. I like that question, Johnny. Wagner or Levante David? I'm going Wagner. I do love Levante David from Tampa Bay. I think he is a little older. What is Levante? Isn't he 33 years old, Johnny? Let me see. I think he's 33. Maybe a little older than that. Let me see. Yes, 33. He's 33 years old. I believe he'll be 34 going into this season. Let me see. No, he won't be. He just turned 33 in January. So there you have it. Either a 33-year-old Levante David or a 32-year-old Bobby Wagner. I'm cool with either one of them, to be honest. Look, I want a veteran presence at the linebacker spot that's name is not Denzel Perryman. These guys, Bobby Wagner, you guys played all 17 games last season. All 17 games. The guy is still very durable and can still play at a high level at 32 years old. So I'm taking a flyer on him all day, every day. Let me see. No, Ridgeback, there's no way. Oh, wait. What do you mean? Trading? Do you mean swapping our first round picks? Because I'm not sending a first round pick to New England to get Mac Jones at all. There's no way. But I talked about that before, Ridgeback. Basically swapping our number 7 for their number 14, I believe, and get Mac Jones. I talked about that before, but I do believe, now they got a new OC, came over from Alabama, familiar with New England's system, familiar with Mac Jones. I think they're going to run with Mac Jones. I don't think they're going to hand the ball off to Bailey Zappi yet. I do believe that New England is going to run with Mac Jones. So, and I do believe also, I've seen a report on Twitter that said New England is not parting ways with Mac Jones. So, I mean, do with that as you will. But I don't think Mac Jones is an option for us at this point. I do believe that this regime is ready to go young. I do believe we're going to go up and get our quarterback, whether that's trading up or sitting back at 7 and hopefully one drops to us. I think we're going to get young at the quarterback position this season. And, may just bring back Stiddy at this point if Arod is not really an option. So let's get into this this Hondo Carpenter article, you guys. I'm going to bring it up on screen so we can read it together. Let me see real quick. Let me share this screen for those who have not gotten a chance to see it. While we wait for that, wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Boom. Let me get this out of here. All right, there we go. All right. Aaron Rodgers leading the Raiders is not the plan, according to Hondo Carpenter. For those who don't know, Hondo works in a building. He is has very close ties with the Raiders. He's a beat writer, has been the beat writer for years. The Las Vegas Raiders aren't waiting for a decision from Aaron Rodgers as they search for a new quarterback. Henderson, Nevada, the Las Vegas Raiders need a starting quarterback as the offseason progresses. We know that it will not be Tom Brady, and now we know that as of the writing of this article, it won't be Aaron Rodgers. Now, I'm not going to take, Hondo usually puts out great work, but I'm not going to I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because who is Hondo? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I don't think he knows what's going on inside the heads of Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels, but we're going to continue with this because I do rock with Hondo, and we're going to see where he goes with this. Owner Mark Davis loved the idea of adding Tom Brady and Josh McDaniels. wanted an experienced leader. But now we know that after considering making a move for Rodgers, if he were to become available, the Raiders are looking in different directions. They aren't waiting for Rodgers or the Green Bay Packers to part ways. Does that mean the door is 100% closed? No, but I wouldn't rate it at any percentage better than perhaps 5%. You guys, 5%. 5%. So if what Hondo is saying is true, it looks as though this is a very, very, very low probability of bringing Arod in at this point. I know a lot of people want him. I know a lot of other people don't want him. Let's continue on with the article. Does that mean General Manager Dave Ziegler has fallen in love with the potential rookie? I will have more on that next week in the podcast. But for today, Aaron Rodgers is no longer at the top of the list. Ziegler said on an episode with Bussin' with the Boys podcast, we're in charge of filling the most important position on the team. There's some pressure that comes along with that. It doesn't mean we're going to have an immediate answer this year. The Las Vegas Raiders' decision to move on was a wise move. I realize the uncertainty of not having a leader will draw criticism from a rabid fan base, but Dave Ziegler can't be concerned about that. Ziegler will never stop thinking about the long term. The fact that he is not willing to make a bad move simply to make any move should be a sign of optimism, which I agree. For a fan base often tortured by a franchise known for making moves, bad or good, for the reason of being able to say they were moving. So there we have it. There we have it. So I don't know how you guys take that article, but at this point, Hondo's calling it 5% chance that Aaron Rodgers will be the quarterback for our Las Vegas Raiders going into this season. For those who don't know, Aaron Rodgers has just came out of his darkness retreat. I believe it was in Oregon a day or two ago, I believe so. So take that, like I said, as you will. Hondo is not the end all be all, but I definitely do trust a lot of what Hondo says in some of his articles. Sometimes he does kind of trip a little bit. And I just reached out to Hondo as well, you guys. I'm trying to bring him on the show. He literally just sent me a message back saying he's going to reach out to his superior and see if he can get approval to come on to the show and shoot the shit with us. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Hopefully Hondo can come on the show, get approval, and we can pick his brain about what this article states. Let me see. Why is this shit so... Okay, there we go. Boom. Let me see. Let me see. Pie Sauce says, Docs, thanks for letting me use your Lambo. Great dude right here. I have no idea what you're talking about, my brother, but you're welcome. Rodgers was gone off the shrooms. Yeah, he was definitely in there slapped out. I definitely agree with you on that. Shout out to Manny. I'm just gonna expect the worst for 2023 season. I hope I can eat my words. I think a lot. Look, as Raider fans, I think a lot of the times, most of the time, we go into the season with, expecting the worst. I think last year was the first season where we actually had some optimism going into it. Going into week one with Devontae coming over and Chandler Jones and DC and Devontae finally reunited. That was really the first season that I really had any kind of really, really true optimism. Yeah, man, this season we got to kind of pump the brakes and see where it is, man. But I definitely trust Zieg, and I'm here to see what he's about to do. Shout out to Old School. The new GM/head coach combo has been underwhelming so far. 5 double-digit blown leads, no fifth-year option for Josh, overpaid for Chandler Jones, starting QB left with no compensation. Wanted to be wrong, but we shall see. I agree with you with the 5 double-digit blown leads. I don't agree with you on a fifth-year option for Josh. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm still gonna, stand my ground on that situation. When you draft, you go draft a slew of running backs, two running backs, a UDFA and Sincere McCormick. You go out and get Amir Abdullah and Brandon Bolden. Look, at the end of the day, man, Josh before this past season dealt with a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? So, it's easy to say, oh, yeah, pick up the fifth-year option. Look, I think these guys had a plan. It was go get a slew of running backs. New England was known for the running back by committee. You know what I mean? And Josh just went out there and played lights out. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. I mean, let's just be real, man. Look, nobody, I don't care what anybody says. I am a Josh Jacobs fan, a huge fan. I did not expect him to lead the league in rushing yards this season. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, yeah, I agree with the double-digit leads. That falls on the defense. That falls on the offense, not getting it done in the red zone. Chandler Jones, yes, man. I was excited to see him come over, reuniting with Patrick Graham and his former New England guys, staff. I thought, maybe he would have had a crazy year. He started off very slow, middle of the season, still very slow, and kind of picked it up at the end before he went on the IR. So I agree with you on that situation too. And it does suck. Allowing your four-time Pro Bowl quarterback to walk with no compensation. But at the end of the day, it had to happen. It had to happen. It had to happen. So would I rather had compensation for DC? Definitely. But it is what it is. We're moving on, washing our hands of the situation. Shout out to old school, man. Shout out to my dog, man. But I hear you, though, bro. I hear you, man. Shout out to my boy Maul. Stroud season in Vegas. I am here for it. Man, dog. Go look at some of his tape, you guys. His accuracy is insane. He has to be probably the most accurate quarterback in this draft. You know what I mean? You could look at him and Bryce Young as kind of like a 1A, 1B in a sense when it comes to accuracy. This dude is phenomenal. You know what I mean? And to have receivers like Waller, you know what I mean, out there tight end, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae Adams, this guy would work wonders. Stroud would work wonders with those guys with his accuracy. He can make every throw. Like I said before, people call him a pocket passer, but he can get loose. I know Josh would want to keep him in the pocket as much as possible. But to me, he is a dual threat. He can get outside of the pocket and get loose. He got some legs. You know what I mean? So I would definitely be all in on the CJ Stroud coming in the Vegas train, man. Definitely, man. Shout out to my boy Maul, man. Wipe them feet, you guys. Hit them thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Let me see. Do you think they trade Renfrow? No. Look, we hear a lot, about, I believe, and shout to Scout too. I believe he came out with a report the other day stating basically that the Raiders are all in on Waller. He's not going anywhere. He's a huge part of our plans going into the future. So you start looking at it, right, from a standpoint of Devontae's not going anywhere with that big contract. He will be here while they're sticking around, apparently. And then you look at Hunter Renfrow, right? He's kind of like the odd man out. Does he fit in this system with Josh McDaniels? People tend to look at it from a standpoint of, yeah, he used to have these slot guys and they were a huge part of his system. Yeah, I agree. But one thing about Hunter Renfrow is he relies heavily on his route running ability. You know what I mean? It's not speed. It's not anything like that. It's just route running ability. You know what I mean? I don't really look at him as the same type of guy as a Julian Edelman and those other guys that they had in New England. He's a guy that relies really all on his route running ability. And does he fit with what Josh McDaniels is doing? If anyone has to go, it's not Waller. It's not Devontae. It's going to be Hunter Renfrow. So, but do I think they will? No, not at all. I do not think that he will. I think he will be a Raider going into the 2023 season. Let me see. I'm missing out on some supers, you guys. Let me get them in real quick. Shout out to Cliss, man. We need long-term success. Arod is not a long-term plan. I agree. Draft a QB, go young. The league is evolving, and the Raiders need to also. I like Levis or AR-15. And there's a report out right now, Cliss, that AR-15 may go number 1. That some team may take a flyer on him because of his measurables and his arm strength. They may take him at number 1. That would be a great situation for us if AR-15 went number 1. Hopefully Bryce Young drops a little bit, which I don't think he goes past the Texans at 2. But that would be great to see maybe Bryce Young and CJ Stroud just kind of drop down a little bit where we wouldn't have to give up the farm to move up to get a CJ Stroud. So in a perfect world, man, hey, AR-15 goes number 1. Somebody trades up with Chicago, takes the number 1 pick, gets him, and hopefully these guys just continue to fall down the board. Maybe a Jalen Carter, though. Shout out to Cliss, man. Appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Joe Nation. Graphk, how much for Tranquil? 2 years, $8 to $10 million. Let me look this up real quick, bro. I want to check out. Let me see. Drew Tranquil spot track. I want to see what they have him at. Okay, going into the season, Let me see. Market value. Boom. Let's see what his market. $4 million annually. So I think you pretty much hit it on the head right there, Joe Nation. If you can bring him in, let's just say $4 to $5 million, I'm cool with that. Paying Drew Tranquill that kind of money, $4 to $5 million for 2 years, I am all in, Joe Nation. I'm all in. Shout out to you. Great comment, my brother. I would definitely bring him in on what Spot Track is putting him at. Definitely. Shout out to my dog, Joe Nation. Shout out to Cardo, my brother. What do you feel about that 6'7" tight end out of Georgia? I love his game. I mean, his measurables are insane. You know, he could be an asset in the passing game, in the blocking game, but I think he'll be off the board early, Cardo. I think he will be like a second round pick. And at that point, I don't want to draft a tight end that early, especially with Waller still on the roster. You know what I mean? And with his extension about to kick in, there really ain't no reason to go out and get a tight end that early. Love his game, though. There is a guy that we've been talking about out of Old Dominion. What is it? Kuntz? I'm not Kuntz. Kuntz, however you say his name. His measurables are insane, too. I think he's like 6'7", 6'8". That's a guy to look at in the later rounds. I'm not willing to give up any draft capital in the first 3 or 4 rounds for a tight end. Go defense. Get your quarterback. Go defense. That's where I am with it. Shout out to Cardo, though, but I'm definitely a huge fan of his game. I think he'll be going in the second round. Shout out to my boy Gio, man. Appreciate you on the dub piece, King. I've tempered my expectations and started to ignore all the Rodgers talk. Realistically, we drafting a QB and ultimately rebuilding. This roster has 3 to 5 blue chippers and needs 3 to 5 more. Build a strong foundation for the future. I'm here for it, Gio. I'm here for it, bro. We're just kind of stuck. I understand both sides of that, right? Because we're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. It's like, yes, we have those blue chippers, right? But all those guys are in the prime of their career right now. Do you want to waste that? Devontae, you know what I mean? Does he want to stick around to see this thing through building it? Max Crosby is in the prime of his career, right? Bringing back Josh. He'll be 25 years old. You know what I mean? That's kind of that age gap right there at a running back position where it's like he wants to win now. And Josh has said that numerous times. He wants to win. And then you look at Darren Waller, 30 plus now. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man, but I agree with you. We definitely have to think about the future. We have to prioritize our future. It's just very, very tough looking at it from a standpoint with all these veterans on this roster, Chandler Jones, you know what I mean, and all these guys. But I agree with you, brother. I've definitely tempered my expectations down a lot as well. But I still believe we have a lot on this roster and we have a lot to build off of. I think if we really go through this free agency, killing it and kill the draft, we're a lot closer than I think a lot of people realize. Shout out to my boy Gio, man. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Johnny. Love Josh. Great running back. But how many running backs have a bad season with our O-line last year? 10 to 14 million is spooky when you have needs, but I'd love to bring him back. Yes. Perfect world, Johnny. You just bring him back at that $10 million for the franchise tag. You work with him to see if he'll come back on maybe a 2-3 year deal. I believe Josh said that he wants to retire in the NFL at 30 years old. He knows the life of a running back in the NFL is very, very short. You know what I mean? So I know he wants to get his bag, but at the end of the day, we kind of hold all the power in this situation in terms of the franchise tag. Franchise him, try and work it out with him for another 2 or 3 year deal. You know what I'm saying? A modest deal. And I think Josh will do it because he wants to be here, but he does want his money. He said that to me and Hammer at Allegiant Stadium. I want to retire a Raider. I want to be here. This is my team in my city. This is what he said to us. But it has to make sense. And when he says that, it's the financial side of things. Shout out to Johnny, man. Shout out to my boy Maul real quick, man. My dog. Adams, Waller, Renfro, Jacobs. Not many rookie QBs taken in top 10, walk into potentially 4 Pro Bowlers on the offense. Food for thought, y'all. Damn. Think about that. Think about that. That's crazy, Maul. Real shit, bro. Like, really think about that. What kind of quarterback has the luxury in year one of like a CJ Stroud or a Will Levis if we get one of these guys to come in and play with all those weapons? That is facts. That is definitely facts, man. Shout out to Maul, bro, with a great comment. Real quick, also, you guys, shout out to my dog. Man, my boy DeMarcus, man. One of the GOATs, man. I appreciate you, bro. He just went to OakLosVegas.com and put his order in, I believe, for a mug. So, brother, your coffee and convo mug is on the way officially. It is fulfilled. and it's on the way. Shout out to my dog, DeMarcus Webb, for all the love and support, brother. I appreciate you. Shout out to Old School. Philip Vargas, I'm going to read that right after, brother. If we draft, try out, put up as free agents any running backs before addressing our real needs, I will need to go on a week-long bender. If we draft, try out any free agent running backs before addressing our real need. Oh, that's facts. That's facts, Old School. Real shit. I think, man, I think they know what it is, bro. And I think that Josh is going to be back. I think he'll be back on the franchise tag. I don't think we're going to be worrying about trying out and doing all that other shit with running backs. I think we're good. You know, we got our young pup from Georgia coming in on year 2. You know, our former 4th round pick, Zeus. We also have Britton Brown, our former 7th round pick out of UCLA. You know what I mean? Still sitting on the practice squad. And then my guy, Sincere McCormick, who was on the IR all season long. I think we're good at the running back position. I think these guys know what time it is. Bring back Josh. Bring back our 3 other guys. Brandon Bolden, man. Dog. It's time to move on from him. I think he has 1 more year on his deal, though, right? I think he had 2 years, so he may be back. We got a slew of running backs. I think this regime knows what time it is, Old School. I think they know. Leave that running back position alone. Go defense, defense, defense. Shout out to my brother, Old School, man. Philip, it is on the way, brother. It is on the way. Sometimes it usually takes about a week, but it is on the way. Let me look yours up real quick while we're on here. Yeah, it's confirmed, and you already have a USPS tracking number and everything, so it should be in the next few days, my brother. Shout out to Philip. Shout out to O. Bro, can you imagine us getting to draft pick 4? Wait, what? Can you imagine us getting the draft pick to pick at 4 for Carolina and using it for the defense? Also, DC is finding out that nobody is giving the bag. Say that again real quick, bro. Shout out to my brother Intel. I see you, King. My brother Intel is in the building. Bro, can you imagine us getting the draft to draft at 4? I'm still confused by that. What Carolina using it for the defense. Also, DC is finding out that nobody's giving up the bag. Well, hey, look, put it like this, bro. It's still early. It's still early, right? So, you know, DC has only visited 2 teams, and it sounds as though both visits went really well with New Orleans and the Jets. So whatever he got going on, great, whatever. Somebody's going to pay him. At the end of the day, he'll still get a bag. I'm still trying to figure out what it means for what you're trying to say. Could you imagine if we had the 4th pick, if we had Carolina's pick? Is that what you're saying? Because if we had that, man, dog. I think at that point, you can really look at maybe a Will Anderson or a Jalen Carter as realistic options. Real quick also, man. Shit, man. This shit's flying off. Shout out to Aaron W, man, my boy, man. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, King. Shout out to my boy Aaron. Your sword tee and boxed out hoodie is on the way right now, my brother. OakLosVegas.com. Appreciate you, King, so much for the support, man. Let me unarchive that. Boom. Aaron, your stuff is on the way, King. My dog over here sneezing and shit. Oh, draft capital if we trade Josh Jacobs. I got you. No one's going to give you that kind of capital, for Josh Jacobs. You know, running back is such an expendable, you know what I'm saying, kind of position in the NFL. I mean, look what Tennessee is doing right now, you guys. Who's to say they don't let go of Derrick Henry at this point? One of the greatest running backs of this era. You know what I mean? They're letting people go. I mean, look, who's to say they won't let them go? They don't even know who their quarterback of the future is at this point. Ryan Tannehill's probably out of there. Malik Willis, they drafted him. He looked like shit last year. You know what I mean? In garbage time. Like, I don't know, man. Look, I want to pay Josh, but I don't think any other team is going to give up any crazy draft capital or any crazy amounts of money to bring Josh in. Sincere McCormick, Steve, that's my guy. That is my guy, man. Shout out to Tootsie. What's up, Docs? Love the new look. My first live to catch you on. I appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Tootsie. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Danny, man. Great show, Graphk. Keep up the great work. Your Raiders background pick is badass. Appreciate you, Danny. Thank you so much, my brother. Can we trade Bolden for a low draft pick? Nah. T-Wave, he's up there in age. How old is Brandon Bolden? Stop sneezing. I'm live. Shit. Let me see. I want to see how Brandon Bolden's in his 30s. You're not going to get anything for a 30-plus running back, especially coming off the year that he had last year. You're going to have to just cut him. Let me see. Yeah, he's 33 years old. 33. He just turned 33. Let his ass go. Let him go. I know Josh McDaniels brought him in to help lead, that system with these new guys, kind of help implement that new system. It did not work. Move on from Brandon Bolden. Period, point blank. The end. And yeah, and Raider for life. This is facts. But I think he meant franchise him and trade him, right? Franchise him and then trade him. Shout out to I think we can get a second for Jacob from Buffalo. Nah, man. I mean, no. I know Buffalo rarely runs the ball anyway. Move. Lay down. My dog is doing the most right now. They rarely run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see them doing that. And there's some really good running backs in this draft that they can just go get in the second round. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think there's a reason for Buffalo to trade and give up that kind of money to pay Josh Jacobs. I don't think it makes any sense. Move. My dog is killing me right now. Shout out to Jay. Just want to jump in and say, what's up, bro? Ordering that rock style OakLosVegas shirt, man. Shout out to my boy Demon Hunter, man, a.k.a. Jason Hunter, man, my dog. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much for everything you do for the channel, bro. I appreciate you, King. You already know. Fighting Irish and our Raiders, man. Shout out to my boy Demon Hunter. We got to get together soon for a cigar, brother. Yeah, J-Dog, this is fact. You ain't going to get shit for Brandon Bolden at all. Yeah, Buffalo rarely uses Singletary. You know what I mean? And they just drafted James Cook, XO, right? They just went and got James Cook too, right? So Singletary's a free agent. He's on the way out. They're not going to pay him. I thought he was a big grab for them coming out of Florida State, but they didn't really utilize him like that. You know what I'm saying? And then they went and got James Cook out of Georgia. And what did they do with him last season? He rarely, you know what I mean? Like, look, Buffalo is a pass-heavy team, and when they run the ball, their quarterback is running the damn ball. So I just don't see them doing that. Shout out to Andy, man, my brother, man. Just want to say what's up, my guy. Bryce Young is going to measure in at 5'10", 175, soaking wet. It's possible he slides to 7. Look, if Bryce Young falls to 7, brother, I'm taking Bryce Young, period. I don't care about the measurables or any of that. I'm taking him. I am taking him. I don't know about 5'10", 175, but, man, if that's true, I don't care. I'm taking him. Let Bryce Young fall to 7, dog. Come on, man. And word is behind the scenes that Josh McDaniels is a huge fan of Bryce Young. Shout out to my brother Mike Downs. I honestly believe I don't think Ziegler's going to take a quarterback with our first pick. So who do you think we get in the first round? Downs, let me know, brother. Do you think we trade back into maybe the middle of the round and get a corner or a DT? What do you think we do in the first round? Shout out to my brother AD, man. As always, Millionaire Rising on IG. I think Zeke is cooking something up behind closed doors, whether that's Arod, Lamar, highly doubtful, or even maybe Fields. We will be surprised, just like we were trading for Jones, Rock, and Tay. I can see that, AD. This guy is a very, very calculated GM. Very calculated. Remember when we went and got Devontae, you guys, and all the Devontae chatter had died? All the beat writers were like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And next thing you know, boom, Devontae Adams is a Raider, right? So, I do believe, Ziegler is very calculated. I do think that he is a cerebral assassin. And I do believe he's kind of a master manipulator behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he knows what he's doing. Shout out to my brother AD, man. I would love Fields too, though, even though I do not believe that Chicago moves on from Fields. If they draft Bryce Young, wow, just wow. Let me ask you guys this. If they go get Bryce Young, would you guys give up the 7th round, our 7th pick for Justin Fields? Let me know in the comment section. Would you guys be willing to give up the 7th pick for Justin Fields? Let me see. Hell yes, no. Look, shit, I would. If we're talking about getting Stroud or one of these other guys, I would definitely go get Justin Fields. Just ran for 1,000 yards last season. You guys had no receivers. He had Cole Kmet. Yeah, Cole Kmet. I think Darnell Mooney. Like, he had nobody over there. Hold on real quick, y'all. Come on. Come on. Come on. My bad, y'all. I had to put my dog in the room. She is tweaking right now. Let's see. A lot of yeses. A lot of yeses. Shout out to Dante. Wait, is it Dontony Wilder? Shout out to my boy Wilder. What up, Docs? Just came in with the Rams releasing Wagner. Could we get sneaky and sign him with the fact he is the best linebacker in free agency? I agree with you with that. I mean, you can always go younger and get Drew Tranquill. We talked about him, preferably 2 years, $8 to $10 million. Wagner said he wants to win. And I don't know, Wilder, if he looks at us as one of those teams that thinks he can win with, but I'm definitely all in on trying to go get Bobby Wagner. I think he had, I said earlier on the show, 6 sacks, 2 picks, played in all 17 games this season. I would definitely be reaching out to Wagner's representation and seeing if we would be an option for him. Shout out to my boy Wilder, man. Shout out to OakLosVegas Raider Nation. Updated my name and support. As for the question, I would say yes. Shout out to my dog, man. I appreciate you for the support, King. Let me see. What's the problem with that, KD? What's the problem with that? A lot of people complained about Derek Carr, right, not using his legs. This is a league where most of these guys are dual threats. Joe Burrow can get loose with his legs. Josh Allen gets loose with his legs. Shit, I seen Purdy take a run a few times, even though he's more of a pocket guy, right? But I'm just saying, like, these guys, look at Lamar Jackson's of the world. Shit, Patty Mahomes. Like, at the end of the day, you want a guy that can use his legs. Dude, he had to use his legs in Chicago. He had to. His offensive line was terrible, and he had no real weapons on the outside. So, yeah, shit, dude, the dude is a baller. The dude's a baller, and he has an underappreciated arm. Like, real shit. He can make the throws. It's just he didn't throw the ball too much. They ran the ball heavy with David Montgomery, and his ass ran the ball heavy. So, you know. But I think that is something that you should bring up with your quarterback in today's NFL. A guy that can run for 1,000 yards. Shit, that's big. He wouldn't have to do that with us, though, Katie. That's the thing. You can cut that shit in half. You got Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. You don't have to run for 1,000 yards. Yeah. Fields was sacked almost 50 times and had no wide receivers. Y'all need to chill. Facts. Darnell Mooney's of the world, bro. Then traded for Clay. I mean, didn't they go get Chase Claypool? Traded for him, I think, a 2nd-round pick. That was later on in the season, though. You know what I mean? He had no real chemistry with him as of yet. Let me see. AD says, if Jordan Davis runs a 4.8, you need a QB that can run. Talk that shit, AD. John, facts. The fact that Fields was able to put up numbers with that roster is really impressive. Real shit. Danny, man, the Sue train, I think, is finally departed, my brother. I don't think that will ever happen with us. Ever. We went to Philly to ring chase. It didn't work out. You know what I mean? They did end up being the NFC champions. But I think personally, Sue steps away from the game. He has so many business endeavors outside of football. The guy is a very, very, very smart dude. I think he leaves football alone. I think he retires. For him to go to the Super Bowl this last season, I think he walks off, you know what I mean, and becomes a Hall of Fame player very, very soon. KD, okay, so let me ask you this then, brother. All right. Is CJ Stroud worth the number 7 pick? Let me ask you that. Let me ask you that. Would you use the number 7 pick for CJ Stroud? Let me see. Shout out to Darth Raider, my brother. What up, Docs? Shout out to Zilla. I live in Ohio. Yes, get him. Buckeye for life. Fields would work. Him or Stroud. Look, I'm good with either one of them. Shout out to my boy, Rizzo. Do you get Rodgers for Adams and ring chase, but also keep the 7th for a long-term QB? I mean, in a perfect world, you can get Stroud at 7 and still get Arod for 2 years, right? Or even a season, just to groom CJ Stroud. In a perfect world, yes. But the more and more it's starting to look like it, it's looking like we may go young. Maybe bring in Stidham again. Go get a young guy and just let Rodgers, retire. I think Green Bay is over it with him. Shout out to Rick Glenn, man. Just checking in. Hope all is well. Busy at school today, but hope Raider Nation is doing well. Keep up the good work, Graphk. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much, Rick Glenn, for the kind words, my brother. And I appreciate you for being here, King. As always, thank you for the donation and the kind words, man. Shout out to Rizzo. I'm giving up a star on our offense for that. New channel was fire, too. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, King. Yeah, LA, I agree. CJ Stroud is a beast. Whoever drafts him, they got a great quarterback. I agree with you. I agree. That accuracy is unmatched in this draft at the quarterback position. But I'm going to ask you guys the two things that we're talking about real quick. Give me a Y or an N. Yes for Y, N for no. Would you guys make a call for Bobby Wagner? Would you guys make a call for Bobby Wagner? I believe this season he posted 124 total tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, 5 passes defensed, and 2 interceptions, playing in all 17 games, and he was also a second-team All-Pro honor. That's crazy. 9th straight year making an All-Pro team. That is crazy. The durability is there. The production is still there. He did sign this past offseason a 5-year, $50 million contract. It just didn't work out with the Rams. They mutually chose to part ways. A lot of Ys, a few Ns. Yes, he is now a free agent. Him and the Rams mutually parted ways yesterday. Look, I agree with you guys, man. Go get him, man. Go get him. Make the call. Even though I do believe he probably goes back home to Seattle, or he goes to another team that already has a crazy stout defense like Philly or the Niners. Highest rated linebacker last year. Talk that shit, Brandon. Talk. Sean, he is old. He's 32 years old, though, bro. And he had an all-pro season last year, second team all-pro honor. Think about that. Played all 17 games. He's still a dog. This is such a Raider, an old school Raider move. Such an old school Bill Romanowski kind of move. You know what I mean? The old Raider way. You know what I mean? I don't know if this is the new Raider way. I don't know if these guys want to get young, more, younger at the linebacker position. You know what I mean? And they run with Luke Masterson, Divine Diablo, Darian Butler, and they go get some other guys in this draft. I don't know. But I don't think he's too old. I don't. Yes, Darnell, you can sign him. He's out there right now. He's ready to go. He is ready to go. Shout out to Angel. What up, Docs? Love your content. Keep doing what you're doing. Much respect. My final year in high school, 2023. Shout out to you, bro. See that through, my brother. As somebody, man, that didn't get the opportunity to finish high school, man, I applaud you, bro. I applaud you, bro. For real. I think that's what you meant, right? You're in high class. I think you meant high school. You know what I mean? I'm team GED, you know what I mean? So I'm very, very jealous when I see my because I wish I went through the whole experience in high school. You know what I mean? The dances and all that good shit. I never got an opportunity to do that. So shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. I know, AD, that was a terrible list of linebackers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Luke. I like Darian. I like Divine. But those are 3 guys you do not want to mention with your starting linebackers at all. Divine, maybe. But that's crazy. Crazy. You can't say that, natural immunity. We let Roquan go to Baltimore for a little. You can't say that because that man went over there and got an astronomical amount of money. Ain't he the highest paid linebacker in the NFL now or something like that? Ain't he 20 million plus in Baltimore? Something like that. So I don't agree with you on that because if we would have made that trade for him and brought him in, we would have had to pay him ducats. Crazy amount of money. So I agree with the draft capital, but in the end, he got what he deserved and which was a lot of money. And I wouldn't want to pay that to Roquan Smith this season. Ziegler playing everyone, Rodgers trade coming. And I can see that. I can see that Raider for life. I can definitely see that, bro. I can see that. I can see this. That's why I'm not jumping the gun yet. I still believe we go get a young guy, but I definitely, man, Zeke is a firecracker, bro. Yeah, William, I'm old, bro. I'm old, bro. When you hear Duckets, you know it's real. You know I'm old as shit. Let me see. I agree, Richard. I think we're still in the hunt with him. Yeah, Victor, highest paid linebacker ever. Crazy. Dog, that's another guy we looking at. You already know. Drew Sanders. I'm telling you. Arkansas product. Black Sunday, this is facts. Our linebacking core is trash as fuck right now. We have no depth or anywhere else on the defense. Facts. We gotta retool that defense immediately, man. Are you talking about Ivan Pace? Huge fan of Ivan Pace. Like his work, but not be mad if we brought him in this draft. Definitely like Ivan Pace. Shout out to Joe Nation. Graphk, what we doing at right guard? Any veterans available? Man, I haven't really. You know what, Joe? Maybe we'll do a show breaking down the offensive line in free agency and in the draft. Maybe we can do that here shortly. I think we're trying to put together a Shillmore show for tomorrow. Maybe we can break that down. But I mean, look, there's still some options on the roster at this point, right? I mean, we got some guys that, we brought in last season that never seen a lot of day. You know what I mean? So who's to say maybe, just maybe, Illuminor comes back and we push him to the inside? Who's to say that, Mumford isn't the right guard? I don't know. You know what I mean? You can move Illuminor there, or you can have Mumford at right tackle, Illuminor on the inside. I don't know. We may have our right guard already. We may already have him. I like Mumford. For those who don't remember our 7th round guy at Ohio State, I'm a fan of Mumford. Maybe he wins the right guard position all out. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but we may have the guy already on our roster. But we'll break down free agency, Joe Nation. We'll break down some guys in the draft as well to potentially look at that right side, because I do believe we might cut, you know what I'm saying, Andre James, save that, I believe, $5 million, maybe move Parham to center, and then, still got Colton as left tackle. And then we're going to have to start looking at the left guard position as well. We may have to look at both guard positions here shortly. So keep an eye on that. Elite says Illuminor will be great at right guard. He's built like a right guard. Brave says, Docs, did we sign David Long Jr., pairing him with Drew Sanders? We did not sign him. We did not sign David Long Jr. There's a lot of rumors out there talking about the Raiders, potentially bringing in David Long Jr., but no. We have not signed anybody, Rick, up to this point. Let me see. OakLosVegas, yes. Khalil Mack may be a cap casualty. They may have to move on from Keenan Allen and Khalil Mack. Real shit. Think about that. They may have to get rid of both those guys to get their books in order. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. I have not heard of this guy, Ryan. Have you seen the offensive lineman from Illinois, Alex P. Polzuski? Dude is 6'7", 305. I know we need. See, let me write that down. Shout out to Ryan. I love when people give me new prospects to do some homework on. You know what? I'm just going to take a picture of that. Shout out to my boy Ryan, man. That's a guy I'm going to look up. Definitely. They're not picking up Kenneth Murray's option. That's another guy that I wanted in that draft when he came out of Oklahoma. That man. There's some guys over there, man, that we got to keep an eye on our division rival, the Chargers, bro. We have to keep an eye on those guys. Let me see. Allen's an option. Keenan, if he gets cut, because I know him and Devontae wanted to play together for many moons now, but he's often injured, man. You know what I mean? I want to get a young guy. I want to get a young guy on the other side of Devontae. I want to get a young guy. Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building, man. Wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up. If you guys are not subscribed to the channel yet, Hit that subscribe button, man. Chowder, he is not off the table. This is just in terms of Hondo Carpenter's recent article basically stating that it's only a 5% chance that we're going to get Aaron Rodgers at this point. I don't think that Hondo knows, like I said before earlier in the show, what's going on in the head of David Ziegler and Josh McDaniels. I think he's kind of just going off of, what it looks like, the optics from the outside looking in with Aaron, going into the darkness retreat, coming out. It looks as though Green Bay wants nothing to do with them. It looks as though the Jets are kind of moving towards a Derek Carr potential, union with him. I just think that I think Hondo's looking at it from a standpoint of we're going young at the quarterback position, because that's kind of what Zieg is saying with this busing with the boys thing and all that other, we're always thinking about the future. If you hear future, and he said that when he came in, I think he said that in his introductory, right? Like future. So I think he's looking to get young. And I think that Hondo's just kind of playing off of that. You know what I mean? You never know what the hell to expect with Aaron Rodgers. This guy can come out of the retreat and say, I'm retired. Or I'll go back to Green Bay for half the money. Or send me to the Jets for those first round picks that they said they'd give you. Or send me back to Vegas. Send me to Vegas with Devontae. We just don't know. We don't know. That's one thing that's kind of cool about this new regime, man. I swear, since I've done this YouTube stuff, Gruden and Mayock were the guys in charge. And it felt as though we can pretty much tell you guys what the fuck was going to happen because they were so predictable. We expected them to draft terribly early on and potentially get some steals in the later half of the draft. So we always looked at those later round guys, right? We looked at free agency as these guys are going to overpay some old guys to come in or overpay. You know what I mean? Like we kind of knew it was like a predictable regime. This regime, we really have no idea what these guys are doing. You know what I mean? We don't. So, it's crazy, man. What do you think about wide receiver Tank Dell? I love you talking about Tank Dell out of Houston, right? AD. That is another guy that is starting to pick up steam. I want to look at his I want to look up his stats real quick, but I like Tank Dell, man. I would love to bring him in. I do think he's going to be an early round pick, though. AD, I think he'll be a top 3 round pick. I think he'll go in the first 3 rounds. So I don't want to give up draft capital like that for a receiver. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to bring in Tank Dell. His numbers were crazy this past season. Let me see what they were real quick. I was reading up on him the other day, and the stats that he had were fucking insane. 5'10", wide receiver, 155 pounds. From Daytona Beach. Let me see. He was a 3-star prospect coming out of high school. Where's his stats at? I wanted to read his stats. His stats were amazing. And they're not here. Come on, dude. Where is his stats? Hold on. Where is Tank? Okay, here we go. Stats. This dude last season had 109 receptions. Second in the country, 1,398 yards receiving, first in the country, 17 TDs, first in the country, and he averaged 12.8 yards per catch. That is insane, you guys. Think about that. Second in the country in receptions, first in the country in yards and passing, receiving yards and TDs. That is crazy. Crazy. That is insane. Whew. Let me see. I would definitely take a flyer on him, just not early. He'll be gone in the early rounds. Shout out to my brother.com, man. Damn, hold on. Tank came in at 5'8" at the Senior Bowl, though. Yo, that's crazy, KD. That's crazy. Shout out to my boy.com, my dog. Yo, what's up, King? I'm tired of the uncertainty of A-Rod. We need to focus on the future. Bring Stiddy back and go for CJ. In the draft, defense is priority outside the quarterback, brother. Fire content, King. Shout out to my boy.com, Ohio's finest. And .com definitely knows all about those Buckeyes up there. Him being an Ohio State Buckeye guy. I'm all for bringing in CJ and bringing back Stiddy if the A-Rod train has officially departed. I agree with you. I mean, we definitely have to start thinking about the future. Definitely. Shout out to my dog.com. It was a blessing meeting you out there in Vegas, my brother, you and your homegirl, man. Real talk. Let me see. With Michael Brockers being released, would you bring him in for a cheap contract for depth? I definitely would, Dan. That's a guy that we've talked about over here for the past 2 or 3 seasons, potentially getting cut. So it's official. Detroit let him go. I would definitely bring in Michael Brockers. Definitely. Let me see. You guys are putting up some great names in this upcoming draft. I love it, man. Another guy, coach, that I need to look up, Kaz Allen out of UCLA. Let me look him up. Kaz Allen. Not really familiar with him. Kaz Allen. UCLA. This season, 49 receptions, 403 yards, 2 TDs. So not crazy, not a crazy season. How many games did he play in this year? So are you talking about bringing him in the later rounds, coach? Like taking a flyer on him in the later rounds? That's dope, Elite, man. Cass is my cousin. That's dope. That's dope. You know what? Just because he's Elite's cousin and coach brought him up, and go grab him in the later rounds, man. Or UDFA. Bring him in. He will be a great kicker, a kick returner, and he's a gem. There we go. I'm going to do my homework on him. Shout out to Elite and shout out to coach. We need a speedster. We need a speedster. Okay, Chip Kelly didn't keep him on the field. I don't know how Chip Kelly's still a head coach. I mean, I know he's a lot better at the collegiate level than he was in the NFL. He was terrible. But, damn. Let me see. Yeah, hey, that's another guy that I'm looking forward to seeing this season. People tend to forget that we brought in Muti Watts. That's another guy that's going to be great for us on the O-line. Bro, Black Sales. Shout out to my dog, Black Sales. Joey Porter is a dog, bro. A physical specimen. The dude is fast as shit, and his arms are literally like Dikembe Mutombo's, bro. Like real shit. Like it's insane, bro. I would not be mad about bringing in Joey Porter in the first round if we trade back. I don't want to take him at 7, but if we could trade back to the middle of the first, I would definitely take a chance on Joey Porter Jr. Oh, you meant Muti from UCLA. Okay, I thought you were talking about our guy on the O-line that we just brought in from Denver's practice squad, I believe, right? Let me see. Shout out to everybody here in the building. Yep, that's another guy, Bray, that we've been talking about a lot lately over here at OakLosVegas Raiders Network is Justin Herron. Tend to forget that we got him coming over from New England. Another guy to keep an eye on for this O-line moving forward. I agree, Omni. He is very handsy. And Christian Gonzalez. But most great corners are hella handsy, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be real. This is a thing that people know with the NFL. Corners pretty much hold every damn play. It's what you get away with and what you don't. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, I get that he's handsy. You know what I mean? But you want your corners to be somewhat handsy, right? I remember we were killing Trayvon Mullen the first few seasons, and he kind of cleaned it up a little bit before he departed. But I mean, look, great corners are going to take shots. They're going to take chances. They're going to take risks. You know what I mean? You want a guy out there that's going to be handsy with receivers, man. You want to get them off their pivot. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's what you can get away with. You know, that's what separates great corners from not so great corners is guys that are handsy but get away with it, know how to play off of it, you know what I mean, and make it look like they're not being handsy while they're being handsy. You know what I'm saying? Pause if necessary. Yeah, Katie, this is facts. Sauce is hella handsy, and you see where he is now. Shit, defensive rookie of the year. You know what I mean? First round pick from Cincinnati. Facts. Let me see. Nnamdi was handsy. This is facts. AD, yep. Nnamdi was great at holding the towel on the wide receiver and never getting caught. Facts. Black Sunday, this is literally one of my favorite prospects in this draft. For those who watch my channel all the time are probably sick of me talking about him, But Emmanuel Forbes out of Mississippi State is one of my favorite corners in this draft. I think he led the country in pick sixes, right? This past season. I mean, the dude is a playmaker. He makes huge plays. Sometimes he gives up big plays, though. But it is what it is. I look at him kind of like Mullen in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, not Mullen. Diggs. I look at him like a Diggs. You know what I'm saying? With Dallas, he can make a big play or he can give up a big play. But either way, that is my guy. Like, that is my guy. I hope that he falls to the second round and we take a flyer on Emmanuel Forbes. That is my dude. Graphk is Forbes' agent at this point. He got me so. I'm telling you, Maul. I'm telling you, bro. That's been my guy, bro. Shout out to Hector, man. What's good, Docs? It's my 18th birthday today, man. Shout out to you, my brother. That is so much of a blessing, man. Happy birthday to you. Everybody in the comment section, let our brother Hector know happy birthday to him, man. Great milestone, my brother. You are blessed to be able to see that age, man. Shout out to you, my brother. Happy birthday, my Raider brother. Raider Jeff, I would love to have Jesse Bates as a Raider. Would love him. I think that's a huge upgrade over over Merrick. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, do you want to spend that kind of money on Jesse Bates? You're going to have to pay him a lump sum of cash to bring him in to upgrade that safety position. I personally would rather draft one or go get another one in free agency. That's not going to cost that crazy kind of amount of money. But I do believe Jesse Bates moves on from Cincinnati. I think they have more needs. I think they still want to help clean up that offensive line around Joe Burrow. They're going to have to save some money here soon to pay all those receivers. I think he's no longer a Bengal. Do I want to bring him in? Definitely, but depends on what kind of figure that is. And I don't think that we're going to have the kind of money to pay him to bring him in. You know what I mean? Yeah, 80s Von Bell is a free agent as well. Facts. Chuck Clark from Baltimore is definitely an option. Classic Man Q. A lot of people had us potentially trading for him this last season, Chuck Clark. So that's definitely another guy we can keep an eye on. Yeah, I can see that, Omni. I can see Dallas. Can definitely see that. But yeah, man. Shout out to everybody here in the building, you guys. I appreciate y'all. Wanted to come talk about this Hondo article about Aaron Rodgers. 5% chance that he can be a Raider. Wanted to talk about the chances of maybe bringing in Bobby Wagner. If he would love to come to Vegas and play with us, that would be a great grab for us. All-pro level. Talent at the second level of our defense. I would love that. Let me know, you guys, in the comment section once this video goes up, what you guys think about bringing in Aaron Rodgers, if it's still an option, if you think it's going to happen, if you think Hondo's article is spot on with 5%, let me know the chances of bringing in Bobby Wagner also in the comment section. And I think tonight we will be live again, shooting that shit. I'm going to watch the Kings game with my sons, watch SmackDown with my sons, but I think I'm going to do a late night show with Wasted tonight. And I talked to Hammer. I think he wants to pull up as well. So maybe, just maybe, we can put together a Mount Shillmore show together tonight. We shall see. On the way out, talk that shit, Docs. Forbes equals Bailey Zappa. You know how I was with Bailey Zappa. Shout out to my dog, Rick. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. On the way out, wipe them feet, hit them thumbs up, and hit that subscribe button. I definitely need you guys' help to get to 20K. PlanetRaiders.com. Shout out to my brother, Big Mike. He just dropped his first article on PlanetRaiders.com about Josh Jacobs. Go check that out. And also subscribe to Planet Raiders Network on YouTube as well. We're almost at 500 subs and we have not even put anything out yet. That is a blessing. I appreciate you guys as always. And OakLosVegas.com for the merch is pinned up there. Go grab some of the merch. You guys are fucking amazing, man. You have supported what I've done, what I've been doing so much. And I want you guys to know this. I have two major products coming out soon. Before I get out of here, I want you guys to guess what it is. I can't say nothing yet, but I want you guys to guess real quick. I have two major products coming out very soon that are already in the works. Let me know, what do you guys think it is in the comment section? Real quick, on the way out, two products, man, that are going to definitely change some things, with the culture of what we got going on. Maul, you a cold motherfucker, bro. Hair restoration. Talk that shit, King. I love this name, Dix Insider. There you go. There you go. New shirts, whiskey, condoms, and weed. Okay. Iron Punchy, OakLosVegas football jersey. Okay. I'll be dropping the news here shortly, you guys. I'm going to be dropping the news here shortly. And I would never drop a whiskey because I'm not going to shit out. I would never, it's woodsandwhiskey.com for life for me. Woodsandwhiskey.com. You already know I'm rocking with the GOAT, Charles Woodson, so I would never step on any toes. That is the OG's lane, and I love it, and I'm going to back that forever. So it is not whiskey. Woodson Whiskey is always going to be my number one whiskey to go to. So, yeah, stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. I can't say nothing because my big mouth. I'm going to calm myself down. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. We outro.